Brothers, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to show you my exact Facebook ad strategy that allows me to scale completely brand new branded dropshipping businesses from zero to over $1,000 a day in sales without any video ad creatives of any kind, without VSLs, without AI UGC, without ripping content. You can do this completely with zero ripped content. All you need are images, ChatGPT or Claude, and long form 2,000 word sales letters. And I'm going to show you exactly how I'm able to produce results like these that you see on screen. In fact, we're already up to about $300 per day on the store, operating at a very small scale, only spending about $100 to $150 a day in ads. And we're just consistently profitable. So I want to show you how the system works. And this system and Facebook ad strategy not only works for my store that I'm literally showing you live working evidence of it now. And don't worry, we're going to jump into the ad account so you guys can see that as well. But literally dozens of students inside of our private course and community, Guide to Your Ecom, such as Enos, who scaled all the way up to his first $10,000 day. Don made his first sale. AB made his first 1.3K. Lewis closing in on almost $1,000 a day. I think he's up to, $800 per day in sales. We've got Sammy, who 2.5 weeks ago is already at $4,700 per day in sales. So this system is live. It's working not only for our community members, but it's literally working for me as I'm recording this video. So I don't know how else to show you that this works, but the whole point of this video is to teach you how to generate results like these. So let's not waste time and jump straight in. So what we're going to do today is cover the 3 phases of our Facebook ad strategy that allows us to generate results and scale to 1K a day without any video ads, using everything made with AI. And this is a system that I call the desire to scale system, and it's broken down into 3 simple phases. Phase 1, we have desire testing. Phase 2, and I'll zoom in here. Phase 1, desire testing. Phase 2, angle testing. And phase 3 is advertorial testing / scaling. So we're going to cover each of these phases, and I'm going to give you all of the resources that you need to execute on these phases step by step. So assuming that you already have a product, assuming that you already have a store built, assuming that you have a brand new Facebook ad account and you're ready to get started, I will show you exactly what you need to do from scratch. So phase 1 is going to be desire testing. Okay. Now within desire testing, okay, how we actually start this phase is in the research process. I don't know why I can't delete anything. I think my keyboard stopped working. Oh wait, what? How do I delete this? Boom. Okay. So phase 1 in any Facebook ad strategy that I run is going to start with desire testing. So what is a desire? Now, mass desire, for those of you guys that don't know, is a term that was coined by a guy called Eugene Schwartz, who wrote one of the greatest copywriting books of all time, which is called Breakthrough Advertising. If you haven't read it, go give it a read. But the core premise is that what drives purchasing behavior in any person, regardless of what they're buying, is a mass desire. Or in other words, what do they want to get out of a product? Because people don't buy products. They buy what they think the product will give them. So for example, people don't buy my course because they want to sit and watch me talk for 20 to 30 hours of video content or whatever it is. They buy it because of what they think watching that content will get them, which is scaling to $1,000 a day. Any purchase decision that you make comes down to ultimately what do you want to get out of the product. So our first step is to identify what do people actually want to get out of your product. Okay, so the way that we do that is by using this document here, which I call the pain diving prompt document. And prompt number 1 is where you start to do the actual research. So how do you figure out what people want? You need to go to the places where they're literally talking about what they want. Okay. Thanks to the internet, you have access to countless public discussion forums of people in your target audience describing their pain, describing the problems that they have, describing what they've tried to solve, what they've used to try and solve their problems that either has or hasn't worked. They'll tell you how they feel about certain solutions, how their problems make them feel. They will literally tell you everything that you need to reverse engineer ads that are going to leverage those pains and problems in their own words and to persuade them to buy your product. So what you're going to do is open up this document, which is linked in the description of this video. You're going to open up prompt number 1, and you're going to follow prompt number 1 for your product and your top competitor. So find your top competitor currently and follow prompt number 1. I will show you an example of what this looks like in practice with one of my top competitors. So I'm going to do try kitty spouts. Okay. Oh, wait. Kitty spout. Okay. So this is my top competitor. Okay. They are called Kitty Spout. You're going to find your top competitor and you're going to paste them in to SimilarWeb, and you can do this with a free account right after you confirm that you're human. Okay. All right. Once you've done that, I know it says to create my free account, but I'm already logged in, so this is a little bit weird. All right, give me a sec. All right, so I'm inside of my account here. So I'm going to go to Kitty Spout, and as you can see, I'm able to basically get all of their traffic and engagement information. I'm going to go over to the section called demographics, and this is going to show me what are the age distribution and what is the gender distribution for this brand. So I know majority of the customers are female, and I know majority of the customers are going to fall in this older demographic from 45 to 65 plus. If we were to sum these three demographics, we'd have the largest share of their customer base. Now, there's obviously some millennial buyers here, but we want to focus on the majority of their target demographics. And so basically what this tells us, 18% of the people that go to this website are 45, 22% are 55 to 64, and so on and so forth. So once we have this information, now we know the age and the gender of the people that we want to do the research on. Okay, so if I were to use prompt number 1 to do this research, what I would do is copy and paste prompt 1 into your AI tool of choice. For me, that's going to be Claude. I'm just going to replace any of the yellow information with my information. So this is a cat water fountain, and this is my number 1 competitor, kittyspout.com. Okay, and then we're going to take a screenshot of their demographics. So that way, we're using our competitors' top demographics, their top buyers, as the basis for our initial research. Because a lot of people will just start doing research, and you're pulling in research from totally different types of people, which doesn't always work out, right? Or that doesn't really make sense to do research on everybody if you're only going to sell to one specific person. So we're going to have it do the research. And you're probably like, okay, this is a Facebook ads video. Why are we starting with research? And that's because Facebook ads, the quality of your Facebook ad output is entirely contingent upon the quality of the content and the ads that you put in. It's less about like the actual media buying and strategy and more about quality content. If you have shit content and you put it into, doesn't matter what structure, then it's not going to perform. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this research, and I'll show you an example of what output you can expect. All right. So really quick, I had to jump over to ChatGPT because Claude was just struggling, man. It's looking for those forums, but we're just going to do it here in ChatGPT just because I know for sure it works here. So let's pop this into ChatGPT. That's so funny how the response to is broken. Let's go with this one. And let's see. All right, I'm going to pause this and let this cook. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, we basically did this with ChatGPT. I think Claude is still struggling. Yeah, as you can, Claude is definitely still struggling with this. So we're just going to move over to ChatGPT. And as you can see, now if we click on any of these specific links, you're going to get actual posts from people in this niche, literally telling you what the problems they're going through. Look, so this lady has the sweetest cat ever. He has mental illness. She wants to increase his water intake. His kidney values are on the slightly higher side. So all of this information, not only from the individual post itself, but you're also going to get other information from all these people here, okay? So that is basically step 1 in our strategy, is to figure out and do the research, and then from there, identify what are the 5 mass desires that your product solves based on your research. So the way we do that is we go into prompt number 5 here, and then we take this and you feed it back into ChatGPT. So in the same area where you're doing the forum analysis, you can literally just paste this in and then go like that, and then let this cook. Okay, boom. So now you have 5 desires, and these are the dominant mass desires that your product solves based on not what you think about the desires, based on the actual research and the forum posts themselves. So now that we have 5 desires, we have 5 things that people want to get out of this product. And so the next step is to figure out which of these things do people want the most, or what is the dominant mass desire. And as Eugene Schwartz says, your product is going to appeal to 2, 3, or even 4 mass desires, but only one desire can be the main focus of the ad. And one desire is going to unlock the true selling power of your ads and your brand. So what we're going to do now is create 3 ads that speak to each of these desires. So for every desire that we found, you're going to create 3 ads for each, and that's going to give you a total of 15 ads. And then you're going to launch these as separate ad sets inside one CBO campaign. You can go anywhere from $50 to $100 per day. Broad targeting, one country, don't do any interest targeting, custom audiences, no nothing. You're going to let that run for 72 hours untouched. So do not touch it. I should have added here, unless initial CPC is greater than $3 after $20. I will say like $20 to $30 to spend. Okay. Unless your initial CPC is greater than $3, which typically means that you wrote some really shit copy. Then what you'll need to do is rewrite some copy or create some new ads. Unless that's the case, then let it run for 72 hours. And then from there, identify the ad set with the highest volume of spend plus conversions. This is now your winning mass desire. So we're launching a CBO campaign. Every ad set represents a different mass desire. Whichever ad set gets the most spend and conversions, that is now your winning mass desire. Okay. So now that you've identified your winning mass desire, the next step is to move on to phase 2, which is angle testing. Now, you might be thinking, your first question might be, okay, what is an angle? What's the difference between an angle and a desire? And so step 1 is to take your winning mass desire and now come up with 5 marketing angles you can test. And the way I describe the angle and what I and the community have decided on is that the angle is simply the story that we use to activate someone's mass desire. Because if we take the example of people who are buying this cat fountain, a large percentage of that market is going to have the desire to make my cat live longer. But what is actually going to push that person to take action is going to be different depending on the person. So for example, if you look at people who want to lose weight, right? At the start of every year, thousands, if not millions of people make New Year's resolutions to lose weight. And almost all of them stay the same weight, and almost none of them actually lose any weight. That is because we all have certain desires, okay? Lots of people want to lose weight. Why don't they actually act on that? Why don't they take the actions necessary to lose the weight? The reason for that is because the angle, right? The story that they tell themselves is not strong enough to actually get them to take action. If you talk to anybody who's lost a significant amount of weight, they'll probably be able to pinpoint a specific moment in their lives, a specific rock bottom moment, or in other words, a story, or in other words, an angle that actually drove them to take action on the desire. Because again, everybody wants to lose weight, right? A lot of fat people, sorry to say, a lot of fat people want to lose weight, but not every fat person ends up losing weight. I know, because I used to be very, very overweight. And it wasn't until I hit a certain rock bottom moment that I actually took action. So that is why we need to do angle testing on top of the desire testing, because we need to figure out and test different stories that are going to make people actually act on their desires. So for example, the winning desire for this cat fountain is the desire to make my cat live longer. Okay. That's what everybody wants. They want their cat to live as long as possible. Now, the angle that we could use to test that would be top vet reveals the hidden killer that's claiming 2 out of 3 indoor cats' lives. Okay. So we have here an angle based on credibility, an angle that is using this phrase hidden killer. Like, what is that hidden killer that's claiming 2 out of 3 indoor cats' lives? Another angle that we could do is like, like we could do the 3 a.m. emergency vet visit. Okay. Another angle that we could do is telling a story about how one day I noticed my cat was acting up. 8 hours later, we were in the emergency vet, we're in the hospital, right? That could be someone's biggest fear, or maybe someone has dealt with that in the past, or they know someone who's dealt with that in the past, right? So angles are basically different ways that we tell stories to activate someone's desire. So what you're going to do now in this stage is, number 1, we're going to come up with 5 marketing angles that you can test, and you can do this very simply with the creating our marketing angles here. So prompt number 7. So let's say we've done our testing. We're just going to assume that we've done testing and we know that this desire is the winning one. Then we're going to insert that mass desire here. Okay. And then ChatGPT is going to basically come up with stories that are, guess where they're from the fucking research. Okay. So these are actual real stories that people in this niche have already told that you're going to turn into angles that you can use to sell the product. Okay. This is a fantastic angle. She wouldn't touch her bowl. Then we ended up in the ER. Okay. I didn't know she was dehydrated until the vet said it was kidney disease. Okay. I came home to blood in the litter box and all I could think was, this is my fault. He was drinking from the toilet. That's when I realized I had a problem. I can resonate with that. My cat likes to play in the sink. I'm sure a lot of cat owners can resonate with that. They like to drink water from all these strange places. Well, what if that could kill your cat? Okay, you probably wouldn't let them do that anymore now, would you? Okay, so now we have all 5 of these angles. We can even do a post-mortem angle where it's like, I lost my cat to kidney failure, not making the same mistake again with my new cat. Like, that's a crazy, intense, powerful angle. How many cat owners do you think have probably learned? And I remember when I went to the adoption center, there was a cat owner there who said, yeah, I lost my cat to this specific disease. I'll never make that mistake again. Okay. How many other people do you think have made certain mistakes, related to their issues that they never want to make again, right? Dozens of people, but you won't be able to activate that unless you're testing the angles. So once you have 5 angles, your next step is to launch all of these angles as new ad sets, with your main goal being identifying just one profitable angle. Okay, so you just want one profitable angle. That's all it takes, guys. Because once you get the one profitable angle, and one profitable angle would essentially be an angle that is taking the majority of spend in your campaign, that is producing a CPA at your target, at or below your target. Okay, and if you don't produce that on your first 5 rounds of testing, that's okay. You can keep testing new angles and ads until you can get one that takes majority of spend and is at your target CPA. There's an infinite number of angles, okay? There's no shortage of angles that you can test, okay? ChatGPT can come up with dozens and dozens and dozens of angles. It's all about finding just one. It only takes one, okay? So once you identify that one profitable angle, you're then going to move on to phase 3, which is advertorial testing. Now, this is really where you start to amplify your success, and you really, really start to scale to multiple 4 figures per day, even 5 figures per day in sales, okay? Because this entire time, we've been running traffic to our product page, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to create an advertorial that is now leveraging the winning desire and the winning angle to be able to create a landing page that will take that person from the ad on a full journey from top to bottom, a highly persuasive sales letter that is going to leverage all of the winning elements that we've already identified. So we're basically doubling down on the winning desire and the winning angle by building its own landing page. Let me delete this. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our winning mass desire and angle, and now we're going to build a 1,500 to 2,000 word advertorial using the same desire and angle, okay? Then we're going to take our best performing ads, which should be, you already have them in one ad set, so you can just duplicate that ad set into a new campaign, and you're just going to switch the URL for your advertorial. And what we're trying to do here is we're trying to beat the performance of our product page. The whole point of having an advertorial is to get better performance than your product page. So if performance on the new landing page is actually less than your product page, you're going to keep testing your advertorials. Okay, you just keep testing your advertorials because you've already validated the messaging. You just need to optimize the landing page more. Okay, I have some general tips for you, and I'm going to show you how to generate the advertorial here in a second. General tips: you want to look at about after 300 clicks, which is about $300 in ad spend. If your advertorial performance is severely under the product page, then you need to take a really big swing, test an entirely new advertorial. You need to change everything: the lead, which is the first 200 words, the headline, the images, the actual length you could test out as well. You just need a totally fresh new advertorial. You need to take some big swings. Secondly, if the performance is equal to the product page, in other words, your advertorial is performing about the same level as your product page, then test new headlines, images, and leads. Okay, leads are the first 200 words. Okay, so test smaller optimizations, because chances are a small change to a headline, a small change to the top image, or a small change to the lead can actually get you into profitability. Okay, and obviously if your advertorial performance is greater than your product page, have fun, go ahead and scale. Okay, so let me show you how to generate the advertorial. In that same chat that we were just using, okay, what you're going to do is go to prompt number 9, which is creating the bulletproof advertorial. And we'll do this inside of, I usually prefer to write my advertorials in Claude, but I'll show you how to write these in ChatGPT. I have basically reverse engineered a winning structure and format to advertorials after looking through dozens upon dozens of the best performing advertorials, having AI analyze them and having it reverse engineer the structure. So that way you can literally just copy paste all of this information. And the pain diving prompt is linked below. So you can grab all of the other supplementary information that you actually need, which are the required reading materials. There's 4 documents here. Paste all of those in, and I'm going to go ahead and do that on my side so we can start to generate the advertorial. Only thing that you need to do is insert the angle that you want to write after. For me, some of these are fucking fantastic, dude. like, I think I'm gonna go with angle number 5, man. I think I'm gonna actually go with, that one looks awesome. So all I'm gonna do now is paste in the required reading materials. All right, so I've pasted everything in, and now we're going to go ahead and press generate, and let's see what we get. Here we go. Any second now. Okay, I think I just quit. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, I thought a water ball was enough. I was wrong. Headline definitely already immediately needs some improvements. In fact, what I'd love to do while we're here is I'm going to copy this and actually ask Claude to do this as well. All right, so I just want to show you guys why I do my advertorial generation in Claude compared to ChatGPT. Look at the output I got from ChatGPT. Okay, I literally told it exactly what I wanted. Okay, so here's what I got. Very just short. I don't know why it always writes in this way. Okay, without any prompting. Okay, in a brand new chat. Look, all I did was copy paste the same stuff that I did without any of the URL research. Look at the output I got from Claude. Absolutely fucking mind blowing. In fact, what I'll do now is I'll go into a new Google document and we'll just paste this in so we can review this together. Okay. So here's the advertorial. Okay. I lost my cat to kidney failure. I'm not making the same mistake again. Milo died in my arms and it was my fault. If you've ever lost a cat to kidney disease, if you watch them slowly fade away while sleeping helpless, if you still carry that guilt of what if I'd done something different, then what I'm about to share might save you from the heartbreak I live with every day. Damn, man. Come on, man. Come on. Look at this shit, man. So going back to the actual strategy itself, basically what we do in this stage now is we're creating a congruent funnel, okay, or what was commonly referred to as a congruent funnel, meaning the messaging that they're seeing on the ad aligns exactly with the messaging that they see on the landing page, okay? And all of this compounds and compounds to persuade them to ultimately buy. So what we're gonna do in this stage is, because again, our desire is working and you're only testing advertorials once you get the profitable angle. So this should amplify and magnify your results significantly. So let me show you now inside of my actual analytics and my Facebook Ads Manager so you can see how powerful this is. But guys, where's my advertorial? I mean, this is insane. I'm actually gonna test this. Let me know in the comments if you want me to test this, by the way. Let's test this advertorial. I'm gonna test it in a separate campaign, and in tomorrow's video or the subsequent video, depending on like how much it's spent and if there's significant results, we're gonna see the actual results live from this method, okay? So anyways, this advertorial is fucking awesome and I wanna test it. Let me see if I think it's a little bit short actually. Yeah, I think the only thing was a little bit on the length. So yeah, I probably increased the length of this, but otherwise it's pretty much good to go. So yeah, let me take you inside of Ads Manager. Okay, so what you're seeing right now, we're inside of my Ads Manager. I just pulled up the lifetime stats on this campaign, which has been running for like the last, we look at like last month. Oh no, it's been running for, let's just look at the last month because it's the full, at least 1 month full of data. So as you can see, I've got 3 different test ad sets inside of this campaign. These are my top spending ad sets, and they're my top spending ads as well. And what you're going to see is the natural progression of me continuously testing more and more angles. So what you'll see at first is if we look at 3105, which is May 31st, this was my first set of ads that I launched for the brand, okay? And what you'll see here too is obviously some really strong performance, but you're also going to see this image ad here, okay? So I'm going to click on this ad, and let's preview this and actually go to the Facebook post with comments, and then we'll go to the landing page as well. So imagine someone sees this ad, right? I thought I was losing my mind when Max started acting strange. The vet's words still haunt me. You got here just in time, right? Now, if I click this, okay, where does this take me? Okay, it takes me to an advertorial or landing page where it says, vet exposes the shocking truth why 2 out of 3 indoor cats are slowly dying from dehydration. We're using the same image, okay? We're using the same cat name, which is Max. So there's all this congruency, again, meaning the messaging that they're seeing on the ad is the same messaging that they're going to get when they read the advertorial. So we've hooked them in with the messaging. The landing page is what's going to do the majority of the selling. And by the time someone has, seen my ad, they've read my entire landing page. By the time they get to the bottom of this button, all they want to do is buy. All they want to do is buy, okay? And the result of that is now I can take an ad like this, and I can build off of that, and I can basically just test new hooks. So as you can see here, I took all of my top performing ads and all I did was test new hooks. And as you can see here, in this particular month, out of hook 1, hook 3, and hook 2, we had hook 2 across multiple different images just completely outperform everything else. In fact, some of the other hooks didn't even get spent. And now I can just continuously launch more and more iterations. So essentially, this campaign has turned into one campaign for this particular angle and funnel. What you can do, and what I would recommend you do, and what I'm going to do next, is I'm going to build new campaigns that are all angle specific, desire specific, to totally separate landing pages. And I'm just going to stack these in my favor. And as you can see, if I'm able to spend, $4,000 and generate almost $10,000 back, if I can do that across 4 more campaigns, assuming that I only spend, that much in a single month, obviously I'm going to scale up these individual campaigns. Now you can see how this quickly compounds into a 6-figure business at $100K a month. Once you're constantly testing more ads, more angles, and more landing pages. But in order to actually do this systematically, you need to have a system where you are constantly building off of the thing that you tested previously and putting more of what's currently working, or more like what's currently working, into your account. And the only way that you can do that is with a system like this. So this is the system from a bird's eye view. Again, as a quick recap of everything that we talked about, starting on phase 1, we're going to test for desires. Once we identify the winning desire, then we move on to testing angles, because the angle is how we activate someone's desire. Once we identify a profitable angle, we're going to double down on that desire and angle and turn it into a full-blown direct response advertorial, which is going to do the majority of the selling. And once we have an advertorial that is killing it, now it's all about doing micro optimizations, testing new headlines, testing new images, maybe testing new creatives, right? Testing different images instead of just the same orange cat. Maybe I'll do a tuxedo cat. So it's all about stacking these little micro optimizations, but you can only do that once you get an advertorial off the ground. But guys, this is the easiest way to get to $1,000 a day. And there's not a single video ad or a ripped TikTok ad in sight. So guys, hopefully you watch this video start to finish and hopefully find it useful. Again, all the resources that I linked or that I used in this video are linked in the description for free. You do not need to join my community if you want to test the strategy out for yourself. So everything you need is linked in the description. So guys, that is going to do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content as always. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're someone who is a little bit more serious about starting and scaling a branded dropshipping business to $1,000 a day, and you want to see me do it live, like on an actual store, and scale one to $1,000 a day live, seeing the behind the scenes and get access to the full masterclass that shows you step by step how to do everything that you saw in this video and more, then I would strongly encourage you to click the first link in the description to join God Tier Ecom, which is my private course and community. Inside, when you join, you will get access to 3 things: the community, the classroom, and the calendar. So when you join, you'll get access to the community, which is our public discussion forum. It's where guys like Enos are sharing their wins and literally telling you what's exactly worked for them. So this guy scaled to $10,000 per day on a brand new store, and then literally explained what were the key drivers of that performance so that everyone else could benefit from it. So we've got guys in here sharing exactly what's working for them, including myself. I think I have a couple of win posts. Where's my most recent win post where I'm literally showing you, I can't find my most recent win post. I had I'm not trying to flex, like stuff like this, stuff like this, right? Let me see. This is the 1K day post. No, this is the 3K day. Okay. Yeah. Not a single video added site. And we've got awesome, just awesome wins in here from all the community members sharing what's working for them. So you get access to the community. You can also ask a bunch of questions and get answers very, very quickly. You get access to the classroom, which will show you in 3 simple steps, right, how you can scale to your first $1,000 a day without video ads or ripped content. Step 1, 2, and 3, we go through in detail, including the desire to scale system, which you saw pretty much all of in today's video. Then lastly, you'll get access to the calendar, which is where we're having multiple calls. We're going to increase this to 4 times per week, 1 to 2 hour long sessions, where I want you to imagine if every time you had a problem with your dropshipping store, you could literally ask me how to solve it, or you can ask the other community members who are scaling even further than I am how to solve it. And that is what you can do on these Q&A calls. So on top of that, there's a bunch of other bonuses like access to spy tools, access to my supplier, and you can even unlock free coaching calls at no additional charge. So guys, if you're someone who is serious about starting and scaling a branded dropshipping business and you want the fastest, most easiest way to do it without any video ads, click the first link in the description to join God Tier Ecom. Right now, if you're seeing this section of the video and it's still up, we're doing a 60% off annual subscription. So you can join for a year and get 60% off. And on top of that, there's a 7-day money back guarantee. So you can literally try the whole community out. And if you hate it for whatever reason, you can get your money back. No questions asked. So guys, got your ecom. It's going to be linked in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed the content as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.